everyone, I'm Sarah. If you have not joined me for one of these fun videos yet, I am with Intermountain Healthcare's TOSH Pilates program. We are committed to helping you live your healthiest lives possible, and since you can't come to us, we're coming to you. We're doing hips in a hurry today. We're gonna have tons of fun. I recommend warming up a little bit because we're gonna get right into it. And if you want to get the most out of your workout, please visit our website, toshutah.org/Pilates. You'll get a ton of basic Pilates principles that'll help you along the way. Today, the only proper using is a chair. So go ahead and grab one of those now. It doesn't matter what kind of chair, just something that you can maybe support a little weight on. Even a table will work if you've got something close to you there. So let's get started. Start by laying down, knees bent, feet flat. We're gonna go right into some bridging. So I want your feet to be about hip width apart. Now most people think their hips are much wider than they are, and I want you to think about where your sits bones are, and your feet will be about that width, okay? Nice and parallel. Arms down by your sides. I want some energy through the arms here. Press your palms down, and we're gonna go into some bridging. So take a nice big inhale. Exhale, draw belly button to spine first. So you feel the core activate, then squeeze the glutes up, tuck your hips under. We're gonna roll up the spine one vertebra at a time. Inhale at the top, and exhale to roll down one vertebra at a time. Inhale, and exhale. So we're just rolling up and down. Should actually feel pretty good on the spine as we start to get those glutes warmed up a little bit more. Pay attention to the weight in your feet. Make sure you've got equal weight in all four corners of the foot, and we're not just digging into the heels or outside edges of the foot. Just really trying to articulate through your spine as best you can. Now this next one, we're gonna hold up at the top of the bridge. Holding here, little pulses. We drop down just a little bit and then lift up in a little bit. So like an inch up or an inch down and an inch up. And every time you lift up, I want you to think about your tailbone tilting towards the ceiling a little bit more. Maybe belly button pulling to spine a little bit more so that we get more glute engagement, less going into the back. Feel like you're pressing the floor away from you with your feet. Let's do 3 and 2 and 1. Roll down one vertebra at a time. Nice big inhale at the bottom. Exhale, we'll roll it up. Now we're going to practice some weight transfer. So press a ton of weight into your right foot without anything changing through your hips, and we'll lift the left leg straight up towards the ceiling. We'll set that foot down, send weight into the left foot to lift your right foot up. We're going to keep alternating here. Try not to let one hip drop. As the leg lifts, the hip might want to drop. Keep it lifted. Keep your hips lifted. Let's do one more each side. Good. Roll down one vertebra at a time. Last variation here. Very similar to what we've already done. We're rolling up. Energy through the arms still. Now, lift your left leg up towards the ceiling, little pulse. 1 inch down, 1 inch up. So don't make it too bouncy. We want it nice and controlled. Yeah, still finding that equal weight in throughout the foot. Go 3, 2, and 1. Set the foot down. Readjust those hips if you need. I've noticed mine dropped a little bit. Other leg comes up. Little pulse. Up and down. It's small. Keep your hips as level as you can. Let's do 3 and 2 and 1. Set the foot down. Roll down one vertebra at a time. And I like to give my knees just a little rock side to side to release some tension from the back. Good. Okay, we're going to come right on up to kneeling. Now, if kneeling is not comfortable for you today, a couple things you can try. You could have a towel, blanket, or pillow under your knees to give some cushion. Or if you're still just not loving kneeling, you would come to lying on your side, like so, and you could do the whole thing from lying on your side. So listen to your body and choose which option feels best to you. So we're coming up to kneeling. Knees are right under my hips. We'll start the right leg going long out to the side. We want it in line with the hip, not too far forward, not too far back, just right to the side. And then we'll drop down to a little side bend. I like to place this hand on my hip and then make sure this wrist is under your shoulder. We're active through the shoulder, active through this side body as we start to lift the leg up and down. Yep, it lifts up and taps down. So we want to target right in the hips here, yeah? I think of like side booty. If you're feeling more quad hip flexor in the front, you might want to try sliding the leg behind you just a little bit more. And then energy out the leg. The straighter we get that leg, the more we should feel it working. At any time, if it's too much on the knee, go down to lying on your side. We're gonna work the same muscles, just a little less active through the upper body. And if this is bothering your wrist, you can prop up onto your fist as well. Always an option. Up and down. You find the range where you can maintain stability through the hips, through the upper body. Up and down. This one will hold up. We're going to lift the leg up and tap it in front of the mat, then lift it up and tap behind us. Up, tap forward, up, tap back. Now core is strong this whole time, even though that's not our focus. We want to use our abdominals to make sure we're not wobbling through the upper body as there's instability in the lower body. Now the upward motion is the important part here. That's where you're gonna get your glute. Up and up. Let's do one more time forward, one more time back. And then we're gonna hold up and do little pulses up, up, up. Reaching the leg longer and straighter. Energy out the toes. Go 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good, relax it down. We're gonna sit down onto this left hip. Now legs are in a mermaid, so we call a mermaid position in Pilates. So my my left leg is wrapping forward. My right leg is wrapping behind. Couple things here. This might not feel great on hips or knees. If that's true for you, you can prop, again, a blanket, towel, pillow under your left hip. It'll lift you up a little bit. Not feel so crunched in the hips, but still not great. Then I want you to lie on your side and we'll be in like a clamshell position. Okay, so those are your two options there. So from here, we are still working that same glute that we have in the right side. We're gonna twist towards the left first though. Now I kind of go on the angle of my knee and walk my hands forward a little bit. From here, I want your right hip to wrap forward. So you should feel the glute engage a little bit there. Now you're going to try to lift that back leg up. And I say try because it's really hard and it might not lift very high. And you might start to feel all this like engagement up the kind of the side of the back. That's what we're going for. This whole hip area, yeah? Now, if it feels near impossible to lift that leg, walk your hands forward a little bit more and then try lifting. Or you can even drop all the way down to your forearms. I just ask that you don't totally collapse through the upper body. We still want to keep the chest as lifted as possible. Again, if you're feeling more front of the hip, slide the leg back a little bit more. It's going to help. Lifting and lowering. Thinking of controlling in each direction. So we don't want to lift and then just drop it down. You know, we're setting it down. We're placing it down. We're not just letting gravity pull it down. We're going to hold it up for little pulses. Up, up. Can you roll those shoulders away from your ears? Find more length through your spine. Breathe. Up, up. Think about lifting from your knee rather than your toes. Good. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Set it down. We're going to lift up again and hold. Now you're going to poke towards the wall behind you. Yeah, my toes are trying to touch the wall behind me. So what this is doing here, just by holding the leg up, we're getting into glute med and mid, but by pressing back, we're getting into glute max. So it's all working. And then we're also feeling kind of up the QL, lower side back there. Go. 4, 3, 2, and 1. We get a quick little break. Now, last set here. You're lengthening this leg long. Now we're twisting away from that leg towards the front of your mat. I want you to think of your body like a teeter-totter here. So my chest is only lowering because my leg is lifting, and vice versa, okay? Both hands are on the mat, and you're gonna lift that leg up to a hover. That's your starting position. From here, leg starts to lift up, your chest starts to drop down. We teeter forward, lift that leg higher, 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 and then we lift back up to the hover, so your toes don't touch the ground. Glutes working like crazy the whole time. At the bottom here, try to lift your leg a little more, and we're just doing that 3 more times. I know it's tired. And 2 more. Find a longer, straighter leg, lift it higher, higher, higher. 1 more. And bring it down. Really good. Come back into this position now. It's just a good stretch. So we're gonna stretch away from that leg that we were just working. Think about your right hip being heavy. And if sometimes kind of rounding forward feels good here, you could do that. You can maybe open up a little, just stretch all those muscles we were just working. Lift up, stretch to the other side just for good measure. And we're gonna do it all again on the other side. Yay. Okay, come on up to kneeling. Remember your options for laying down as well. So starting with knees under your hips, left leg's gonna lengthen long. Take your side bend over. Make sure we're active through the shoulder, active through the torso, and we start to lift and lower the leg. Lifting up and lowering down. Up and down. Good. Now, again, finding that length, make sure we're feeling side booty working. We're feeling the hips working, not hip flexor, not quad. Good. Up and down. Energy through the arm, even though that's not the focus, and energy through the leg, even though that's not the focus. Or sorry, core, not leg. All right, we'll hold it up. We lift up and tap forward, up and tap back. Up and forward, up and back. Keeping stability through the body, through the torso. Good, keep breathing. Remember, it's that upward motion that we want to get, that rainbow effect here. Let's do one more time forward, one more time back. Now we lift the leg up, hold little pulses up, up, up. Try to lift higher every time and lower less every time. Whew, so it's small. We're getting deeper and deeper into that muscle. Go 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good, bend it in. We're sitting down onto the right hip. Going for those mermaid legs. All right, we're twisting towards the right knee as we walk our hands forward a little bit. Chest is still lifted. Wrap the left hip forward, and we try to lift that back leg. Whew. Now, I just noticed I did this. I kind of went toe, knee. Now, I want you to think knee lifts first, the toes following with it, okay? We'll just get a little better engagement there. Feel it a little more. I know you're already feeling it enough. And again, remember you can drop down here. If that feels better, just don't collapse through the upper body. Let's do 3, and 2, and 1. Whole little pulse up, up, up. The second side always feels harder. Whew. If you're feeling like a cramp up the back, that's pretty normal. It's hard to get into this set of muscles. We don't get to them often. Go 4, 3, 2, and 1. Little break, just enough to inhale. And then exhale, lift back up, toes reaching towards the wall behind you, pressing back, back, back. Keep trying to lift the knee higher than your toes. Even just by like a millimeter, you're gonna feel a difference. Chest is lifted. Go 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead, set the leg down. We lengthen it now. Last set here. Twist towards the top end of your mat. I like to walk my hands forward just a little bit. All right, find your leg in a hover. We start to lower down, lifting the leg up, 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 and lift back to the hover. We lift, lift, lift. Oh yeah, this side's way harder than the other side. We're doing 3 more. Find more length through your leg. 2 more. Lift, 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 lift. And 1 more. And bend it in. We get that big side stretch, stretching away from the leg we were just working. Even maybe coming down to the forearm if that feels like a good stretch. Adding any movement that feels good here. Lift up and get that good stretch over to the other side. Okay, very nice. All right, so now we're gonna grab our chairs. So go ahead and grab yours now while I'm grabbing mine. All right. So I'm gonna use the back of my chair. Again, you could use a table if that works better for you. I'm kind of out of the frame for a second. So we are gonna get into the glutes and hips more. So we'll be leaning kind of against this. You'll see it all. I just might be cut out of the frame for just a quick second, but come on up to standing. We'll face the chair. You're going to stack your forearms on top of the chair, table, whatever you're doing. Don't shift too much weight into it. And you're going to have your feet about right under your hips. We've got a nice long spine. We're not tucking under or arching up, okay? Find your neutral position. My knees are a little bit bent. I'm gonna reach my right leg long behind me. From here, I'm lifting the leg and lowering it. Lifting it up and tapping it down. So similar motion to what we were just doing lying on our side, but now we're getting more into glute max. Now as that leg lifts up, I want you to think core lifting up. Sometimes when we lift the leg, the back wants to arch, and I don't want that to happen. Everything else should stay the same. Now as we move through this, you're definitely gonna feel work on the standing leg as well, especially since we've already done just a ton of hip work. So you're gonna start to feel that. Head can absolutely rest down if that's comfortable for you. Again, you want to find the straightest leg you can to get more into the glute. And even though we are not focused on upper body, we're not collapsing, okay? I want you active through the shoulders. Maybe think of shifting a little more weight towards your left forearm so we're not totally leaning into the right too much. We're gonna hold the leg up. Good, just a little pulse up, up, up. Don't make it bouncy. Squeeze your glute to lift your leg. Squeeze to lift. Good. Go, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You can set the leg down for a second. We're using the same leg. We're just gonna rotate now. So left forearm goes down onto the chair. And we're kind of opening our hips up. We'll lift the leg up, so it's very similar. Sorry if I'm cut out of the frame. It's very similar to what we were doing kneeling. But now you're gonna flex your foot, you're gonna kick your leg forward and then slide it back. Kick the leg forward, slide it back. So I'm flexing my foot forward, pointing as I go back. Just like before, I'm keeping stability through my torso. Good. All right, one more time forward. One more time back. Find center, little circles. Up, up. Again, that emphasis on the upward motion of your circle. Up, up. Energy through this arm. Reverse the circle. Try to keep that leg lifted. I know mine's starting to drop, but you can do it. Lifting up. Go 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it down. Good. I like to go back to facing your chair. Cross that right ankle over your left knee. Sit back into a little figure 4 stretch. So I'll give you this view of it. Giving that hip a good stretch there. Good. Okay, let's do the other side. So, stacking forearms, neutral spine, little bend through your legs. Make sure those feet are right under your hips and we're not too far back or too far in, okay? That's gonna help you with your neutral as well. Lengthen the leg behind you and we lift the leg up, tap it down, getting into the glute max. Exhale, inhale. Remember, abs are pulling up as the leg lifts up. I'm thinking belly button to spine the whole time. Shoulders away from my ears. We can always just think about the little precision things in our exercises, even when they seem simple. Good, exhale. up. Let's hold the next one up for a little pulse. Up, up, up. Good. I think I'm closing the ribs off. I know I've got a habit of letting them open up a little. Find more length in the legs. Squeeze the glute to lift. 4, 3, 2, 1. Set the leg down for a moment. You're gonna get my backside view, sorry. We're gonna twist open. Leg lifts up. You flex the foot forward. Woo, can't do that while looking back. Flex the foot forward, slide it back. Flex, and then point. Stability through the upper body. Keep that leg lifted in line with your hip. Giving myself a reminder, just as much as you guys. Forward and back. One more like that. Good. Find center, little circles, up, up, up. Reverse your circle. Whew, you're almost there. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good, bring it in, come back to facing your chair, cross that ankle over, sit back into your chair. Good, or your figure 4. There we go, very nice. Good, shake out the legs, you can set your chair to the side. And one last little thing standing. My head will be cut out for a second, but I'll try to stay low so that you can see. But we're doing some standing squat side leg lift. So I like my feet a little bit wider than hip width here, and just like the tiniest bit of rotation open. Find what feels best for you. We're gonna sit down into a squat and then lift one leg up. Sit down into a squat, lift one leg up, down and up. You can see me, you can. Good. So what I want you to think about, keep going, but I'm gonna break it down a little as you keep going. In your squat, make sure you're not going knees forward. We want weight in the heels, hips going back. We're staying in a neutral spine. We're not flexing, or we're not arching, we're not tucking. Okay? Keep going. Down and up. As you lift that leg up, again, we're getting into side booty. I think about my heel kind of rotating towards the ceiling a little bit. Good. Let's just do 4 and 3. Hands can be wherever it feels best, by the way. And 2 and 1. Really good. All right, that is our hips in a hurry today. Take a moment to stretch that out. Maybe some more figure 4s. Get those glutes really stretched. If you have any questions or comments, email us at toshpilates@imail.org or visit our website for more information. Have a good one, you guys.